So we'll just get the one out of the way that seems like it's going to be the one that takes the most time, right?
Okay.
So, um, so a few things with these meal prep classes. If you've never done a class with me before, I always suggest having a bowl that you'll be able to place your bags in when you are working. That way, if a bag flips over, it's not going to end up all over your kitchen table or your counter. And then the other thing that I always like to tell people about is that when you're using your freezer bags, it's really nice if you flip the top part of it. This is just a quart size bag for you to see. But if you just flip where the seal is, if you flip that over, it kind of opens your bag up a little bit more and it keeps the seal from hopefully getting like juice and anything on it that might cause it not to be able to seal properly. So we always want that sealable portion of our bag to be nice and clean so we get a good seal because air is your enemy when you're doing these workshops and we want to keep that all nice and ready to roll. So, all right. The other thing that I would suggest is if you do not have Sharpie marker handy, you're going to want to grab one of those because there are going to be a couple things that we're going to make notations on. And so this is always nice to have handy and ready to roll. And for this first meal is our coconut crusted chicken fingers. And then we'll have a dipping sauce that you'll make at the time when you're ready to actually prepare this meal. So what we're going to want is we should have a gallon sized bag and you want to label that coconut crusted chicken fingers. I like to also put the date that I made the meal. So I would be putting today's date, 6/8/25, because in my freezer, if you have a freezer like ours, sometimes things get buried at the bottom because I buy more things and throw them in on top, and then I'm like, oh, when was that meal made? So sometimes I miss out on some things that got, underneath some frozen fruit and things like that that I've bought. So um, and I always also like to have an extra gallon size bag. So the one that's labeled is usually the one I use as my outside bag. And then the reason I like to do a double layer of bagging is because I don't like when I'm defrosting things, I don't want to risk that there could be like any leakage from that bag if there, somehow was a little pinhole or anything like that. I like to make sure I am protecting my refrigerator from things that might be defrosting and could be, yucky. So, all right. So to get us started for our coconut crusted chicken fingers, we are going to need obviously our chicken tenders. And we're going to need three shallow containers. Doesn't matter what kind you have, but we're going to be making, we're going to be like what you see Tracy doing right there, is we are going to be kind of like making three different stations, I guess you would say, to dredge our chicken in. And then when we're ready, and once you have them done, you'll put them on parchment that's in your Ziploc bag. All right. So in one of your gallon size bags. So in our first shallow dish, number one, we're going to be combining a quarter cup flour and 1 tablespoon of our Fiesta Party seasoning. Now, with our Fiesta Party, Jean, do you have your container of the Fiesta Party?
I do.
All right. So with that one, that's hot honey, but yes. So that
Oh, I'm
one,
sorry. They're the
you're
same
fine.
color.
Yes, they are. So with that lid on your full size jar, that one is actually 2 tablespoons. So if you only, since we need 1 tablespoon for this portion in the first dish, you can just fill that up halfway. And then you're just going to combine that with your flour. Now, you can add salt as desired, but if you're a person who's trying to stay away from some of the sodium like I am, you can always leave that out because you've got plenty of pop of flavor with your Fiesta Party seasoning. All right, so once you've whisked that together, we're going to go into our second shallow pan. And if I go too fast, y'all just let me know, okay? In our second pan or dish, we're going to whisk 2 large eggs together. And in this particular dish, we're going to also add some more Fiesta. We're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of Fiesta party seasoning. And if you want to add any salt, you can do that there and mix those two together. Tracy, are you doing a double batch? Yeah, I figured. She's like, I got to get these going because I've got so many to make. All right. And then in our third shallow dish, this one we're going to be using our breadcrumbs, our coconut flakes, and then I just wanted to, I'll tell you how much I should have written on there. So you want 1.5 cups of your panko breadcrumbs. You want 1 cup of coconut flakes. So those are the two first ingredients that you're going to do on that. And then I just wanted to mention about the seasoned pepper. If you're new to using seasoned pepper, it has quite a bit of flavor. Definitely a stronger flavor. So pretty bold. So what I would suggest is it does call for 2 teaspoons of the seasoned pepper. If you don't love a bold flavor of that, of pepper, you might want to just do 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons, and that will be plenty for your flavoring. So I just thought I would mention that because sometimes people don't love a bold pepper flavor. So keep that in mind with your family as how much you want to use. All right. So I'll let you get those 3 dishes settled, and then I will go on to the next part when you're ready. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to roll. Lee, did you enjoy the last meals that you all made?
I did. I really did. I'm just listening today. I'm not
I know.
making them yet, but all was
That's all
good. They
right.
were really good. And how's
That's
your eye
good.
doing? You look beautiful today.
It's much better. Thank you for remembering. Yes.
Good.
Yeah. So much better today. Yeah. So now I have a wrist brace. I'll tell you, I'm just
I
falling apart.
saw that. What is
This, I think I have, I'm hoping it's not carpal tunnel stuff, but I'm typing a lot and, nice job, Denise. Thanks for the thumbs up. But it's been really bothering me here for like weeks and I'm like, so I'm
oh,
just kind of wearing a brace as neat. Like I'm trying to wear a brace a little bit more to stabilize it and hopefully get it going. So
I
yeah,
hope so. Bless your heart. I hope it's
but
not carpal tunnel.
yeah, me too. I'm left-handed. So I'm like, yeah, so we'll
Oh
see.
no, you're really in trouble then.
Yeah, so I'm hoping not. So, all right. So, ladies, if you have your 3 containers, once you, I would grab a piece of parchment like you see Jean doing, and I kind of like to just go ahead and tuck that into my bag a while at the very beginning. So it's in the gallon size bag that I'm going to store it in. And then I'll take my chicken breast. I'll start with dish number 1, and I'm just going to kind of coat it in there. You see Tracy getting her hands in there, you can do that. Makes it probably a lot easier. And
I
once you,
I I do want to
yeah,
say one comment. The reason I'm doing it on a cookie sheet is I'm going to freeze them all flat on a cookie sheet, and once they're
nice.
frozen, then I'm going to put them on my bag.
Yeah. See, this is why we love these workshops because these
Yeah,
classes train all of us, teach us all new things. So this is a great one to be teaching us.
because then
Thank
they
you.
don't stick to each other like at
That's
all.
that is a great thing. And then how long do you say about that it takes to freeze them like that?
I'm probably going to do it tomorrow morning. I'll put them in tonight, and tomorrow morning when I come out and I'm having my coffee, I'll just throw them in a
Yeah,
Ziploc bag and I'll finish up that particular one.
that is
So
a great
yeah,
way to do it.
I mean it could
Brilliant idea.
probably freeze in about 3 hours, but I'll probably
Yeah,
just do it tomorrow morning.
that's perfect. Very smart. All right. So all you're doing is you are dredging your chicken through your flour and fiesta mix, and you're going right over into your next mixture, which is your egg mix. And then taking that out and then moving it over to your breadcrumbs and just kind of mixing that over to it or on top of your chicken and then putting it on your parchment, either the way Jean's suggesting you do it, or if you're putting it in a bag right away, you can do it that way. So, and that's going to take you a few minutes. So feel free to talk. We'll just chat it up while you're doing that. And did anybody have any big plans for the weekend? Anything fun, wild, and exciting that you did?
I did an event today.
Nice.
Yes, yeah, nothing like real exciting this weekend. We're getting ready to go to Yosemite in two
Ah,
weeks, so that'll be our big trip. We're going to California.
that's awesome. I
So
was at a
yeah.
wedding last night and the couple just left for Yosemite today. That's their honeymoon.
Oh,
They're going hiking.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
excited. It's gonna be fun.
that's awesome. Are
I
you
think
are
it'll be
you a big
fun.
are you a big hiker?
Um, I am, my husband not so much, but this is actually through a company called Road Scholars, so it's more of an educational trip,
Yeah,
and it's part bus tour, and we will have time for hiking during the tour, but we're staying right in Yosemite at the Yosemite Lodge.
that's
And so we have
awesome.
five, I think it's 5 nights there, and every day we're seeing something else, and they'll have different naturalists come and talk to our group. And so they gave us, like, it's funny, they gave us reading to do beforehand, and we had certain books they want, and I really haven't done much of it at all. And so we're
Where's
just
the
gonna,
audible version of that?
yeah,
I was
exactly.
thinking
I
the
think I'll
same
be doing a
thing.
lot of that on the plane on the way out there. And
Yeah.
yeah, so, but they wanted you to know about the history of the area before you get there. And so
Mhm.
it's going to be a little bit more on the educational side.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, I do love to hike, and I would love to, I'm hoping to see tons of stuff while we're there, but it's going to be more on an educational kind of level trip. And we're going with another neighbor friend of ours. So
That's really cool.
yeah, and we'll
We
meet
might have
other.
to get some, once you've done that trip, I would like to get some information from you of how you rate the trip and
Yeah.
everything, because that's it's really actually really cool as road
And they do
scholars.
trips all over the country and all over the world.
Really. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I'll bring their brochure for you to conference when I see you.
That sounds great. That's awesome. Lee, how about you? What did you have going on this weekend? Anything wild, crazy, and exciting?
Well, I guess kind of sorta.
Yeah.
We had a
Uh-oh.
gender reveal, and my
Oh,
daughter's gonna have a little boy.
congratulations.
Oh,
That's
I
that
know she's
exciting.
already got two grandsons. I told her she won't have to
Oh,
send it back. She wants a girl.
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna love him just as much, and he's just
Yeah.
gonna be a sport. So,
Yes. Yeah. There you go. You know, this couple that my friend, so the wedding we were at last night was my good friend from high school. We've been friends all the way through. Um, and they had three boys, and I always thought she was going to be a girl mom, and she ended up being an amazing boy mom. And I'll tell you, she and her husband, they have raised really amazing young men that are, like her one that just graduated from high school. He's going on a instead of going on a senior trip, where lots of people are like crazy partying and kind of stuff, he chose to do a mission trip to Mexico. He's gonna be in Cancun.
awesome.
Yeah, they're gonna be like a lot of different things that they're doing in the community while they're there. I think he's gone for like 9 days, and I'm like, that says a lot, about the type of character,
Yeah.
you
That
know.
is. That is
So,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. So, yep. So Tracy, Jean, and Denise, when you have your chicken finished, you just let us know, and then we'll move on to the next.
I only have two more pieces to go. Denise, how are you doing on yours?
Don't worry about me.
Okay,
I'll catch up.
okay, because you're double batching and
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm done.
okay.
Tracy, how many people are you cooking for?
Well, we now have 15 in the house.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It's meat, so
Yeah.
Oh,
three
How was it? And
boys.
how was your trip?
Boys.
Yeah, you have a big boy, like grown up boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
18, 21, and 26 now. So
Wow.
Oh, wow, wow. Tracy,
all
how was
right.
your trip
I'm on my
to?
last.
Didn't you do Michigan?
Michigan,
Was
yeah,
it
we got
Michigan?
back Friday. It was really nice. We had a
That's
good
awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
All right. So you're good with us just going and you're not going to worry about it. Okay. You're just here for the fun of being a part of the group. All
Yeah.
right. You sure?
All right. Yep.
Okay. All righty
All
then.
right.
Okay. So Denise and Jean sounds like they're
Yep.
finished.
I'm
So
done.
you're going to want to, however you're storing your chicken, if you're doing it on parchment and throwing it in your Ziploc bag, again, you'll want to make sure that you kind of just wrap that around it so it stays all nice and in place. And then you're going to want to seal that bag. I always say make sure you get as much air out as possible because, as I mentioned earlier, air is the enemy. So you want to be able to uh, keep these from getting any freeze or burn, and we want the best flavor possible. So you're going to set that bag aside if you're doing the way Jean did it on the parchment, on a cookie sheet, and then you'll be throwing that in the freezer. And then you can set your three dishes, your shallow dishes aside. And then the next thing we're gonna need is a quart-sized bag. Again, I would definitely open because we're gonna be putting sauce in this bag. So definitely fold over your top. And we are gonna be needing our pineapple chipotle grilling sauce. So I made meatballs with this weekend on Friday because I did a national experience day and my guests came over and that was one of the things we sampled. So I love this particular sauce. I think it's a real hit for this season. I did it on meatballs and I threw some extra pineapple in the mix or in with the meatballs and the sauce. But you can definitely just do it with just the sauce. So we're going to measure a half a cup of your sauce and put that in your quart-sized bag.
The risk of stroke about 5 times.
And then we'll go ahead and I like to put my bag on its side when I have a sauce. If I just am doing a sauce, I don't lay it so it falls out, but I kind of just put my sauce on its side like this. And then I try to get as much air out as possible and seal it. And then we'll be taking our chicken and our sauce bag and putting it in your other gallon size
Bigger
grease bag. Yep. Yep. And then once you're finished with that, you can give me a thumbs up and that'll be that meal that we're finished with. So this is definitely the one that I thought was would take the most time in prepping because of just having to dredge your chicken into 3 different shallow pans. But they look like they're watching Tracy, they look very well coated and beautiful. So
All right.
Denise, how's yours coming? Oh, she's got her thumb up. Thumbs are up for Denise already, so she's ready to roll. So Denise, next one we're going to be working on is we're going to move on to the Hawaiian bourbon burgers.
Got it.
So that'll be the next one. If you don't have your label, your bag labeled, you want to do that. For this particular one, when I'm doing like ground beef and things, a lot of times I'll take it, I want to put it in a bowl so that I can mix everything in a bowl and then make my patties and then put it into a gallon size bag. So that's just something to keep in mind. And again, I just like my double gallon size bag, but that's just me. You don't have to do 2. I know it's expensive to do it that way, but the other thing is while you're waiting for us to actually start this one, you could tear 6 pieces of parchment paper a while, or if you have saran wrap that you're going to want to use, because this is a nice way to, we'll wrap each burger separately. And then that way it's easier that you can just pull 1 or 2 out at a time. If you need all 6, you can get them all out at once, but at least then they're wrapped individually when you're working with them. So, all right. Jean, are you good to go on?
Good to go.
All right.
Go for
And
it.
I saw Denise was, and Tracy said she's not worried about us, so we're all good.
Yep.
Okay, so for this one, what we want is 1.5 pounds of lean ground beef. And like I said, I like to put this in a bowl so that I can mix my seasonings in with the meat, and that way I can make my patties. So some people prefer to just leave it in the bag, mix it all together, and then just freeze it as a big loaf and then make the patties later. For me, I need it done early. I want it all done. I want the patties already there.
You're
So,
fine. You can
yeah.
only see the salute. They don't care if they see you.
Hi.
They're saying hi.
So what we want on this one is with your 1.5 pounds of ground beef, we're going to be adding 1.5 teaspoons of seasoned pepper. And again, reminder and a disclaimer, this has got a bold flavor. So if you are looking for a little less pop of pepper, then I would definitely shorten that up and less than that, maybe take it down to 3/4 of a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon. So that's just my opinion on that. Okay.
I was warning him because anytime he uses my seasonings, he goes overboard on them. So
Yeah,
I
don't
would
do it with
say
pepper.
like, don't do this with the pepper because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
making
You
sure
can
he
always
knows that.
add more. Yeah, you can always add more. Like I use it on my salad every morning because I do like egg whites and everything, make a breakfast sandwich, but then I put a salad with it.
Mhm.
And just to try to get some veggies in because I'm not great with veggies. So at least a salad is the start of the day with some veggies. But I sprinkle it on every day, but I have to watch myself because I'm like, oh, that's a lot of for today. So yeah. All right. So in addition to the seasoned pepper, we're going to be doing 1 tablespoon of garlic in this one. And then we're gonna mix that into the ground beef, and then we're gonna form it into 6 individual patties. And the way I like to do it is I like to take my pound and a half of ground beef, once all the seasonings are mixed in, and then I just break it into in half. So I've got, two portions, and then I break from there in half again, and till I have 6 patties. So yeah, that's how I like to do it. And once you've got your patties made, then you're gonna for each patty, you can either put it in a parchment paper or saran wrap, and then fold those over and put those in one of your gallon size bags. The other thing I like to do is, I don't know if you have like a Dollar Tree near you. Sometimes you can get in their one section where there's like foils and things like that. They actually have square pieces of parchment. And if you've ever bought like, big bags of ground beef or big bags of hamburger patties already, a lot of times they'll have that like piece of parchment in between each piece of each burger. So you can get those if you don't want to have to sit there and fold and wrap every one of them up. It is a nice way to just be able to peel those off and go. So just a tip for the next time if you're looking for that parchment, those parchment sheets, they're I think like maybe a 5 by 5. They're pretty small, square. So yeah. So it's just something to keep in mind. And when you're finished with your patties, if you give me a thumbs up, and then we'll go on to the next step.
Profit.
Oh, you're quick.
PTSD.
You ladies are fast. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So with you having your patties put it over to the side, we're going to go into our next quart size bag. And again, we're going to be doing sauce in this first bag. So we want to make sure we definitely fold over the top. And this time we're going to be adding my very favorite sauce of all time. I love this one. And we're going to be, which is our Bayou Bourbon Glaze. So we're going to be doing a half a cup of Bayou Bourbon Glaze in your quart size freezer bag. Once you have that in the bag, you'll seal that bag up, get your air out, seal it up, put it aside, and then you'll need a second quart size bag. And I need to probably start telling people for these workshops, maybe even a snack size bag would be great, but I know not everybody has snack size bags at home. So for this one, I just said quart size bags, but in the future, for the seasonings, maybe snack size bags would be the best. So, all right. So for your second, may I go on?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Go.
So for the second quart size bag, we're going to be measuring 3/4 of a teaspoon. So I know it's very little amount. 3/4 of a teaspoon of the Fiesta Party seasoning. Now, Lee, just like the seasoned pepper, the Fiesta Party seasoning does have a good amount of flavor, but it's a little bit spicier. This is probably the spiciest one we have in our whole lineup. So if your husband goes a little overboard on seasonings, like you said, you might want to tell him on that one too, just to kind of keep an eye and don't do overboard on that one.
Yes.
So,
Giving you the tools to actually get there.
all right. So once you have your 3/4 of a teaspoon in the bag,
Situation.
you'll seal that one aside, and then you're going to do your last quart size bag with your 6 slices of pepper jack cheese.
Hire traditional healers to
And
conduct
if you want to do some,
the first two.
Denise, I'm going to go ahead and mute you for right now.
Some mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I should have been
Sorry.
muted.
Thank you. So with this pepper jack cheese, if you have some parchment, if you want to put pieces of parchment in between each slice, that's fine too. And then once you seal that bag that has the cheese in it, you'll put your ground beef patties, your 3 bags that are the quart size bags, all into your final gallon size bag, seal it up, and that meal is ready to roll. I think those burgers, I have not had those burgers yet. I'm really excited about those. I think they sound really yummy. Anything with pineapple for me is like my
I
favorite.
love
So
pineapples.
I know. I just love it, love it, love it. So we were making and you can do this as a mocktail or a cocktail. On Friday, the classic margarita mix, there's a pina colada recipe, and again, you can do it mocktail or cocktail. And you take frozen pineapple and you mix it in, and then you use the coconut cream, and then
Mhm.
3/4 of a cup of the classic margarita mix. And then if you were doing it with alcohol, you would do like coconut rum and then also a pineapple rum. If you were doing it as a mocktail,
Ooh,
then you could do like a coconut water or like a sparkling water, flavored water of some kind. It was really good. And you put it in the blender. Oh, and with ice too. It was amazing. So
That
really,
sounds
really good. Yeah, it was really
Denise, I have some of that, so we'll do that at your house next time.
good. Yeah, that recipe is a really good one. So definitely look that one up. So all right. So Denise and Jean, are we good to go on to the Hawaiian sheet pan Hawaiian chicken?
Yes,
All right, ladies. Okay.
I'm ready.
So sounds great. All right. So for this one, you want your bag labeled the sheet pan Hawaiian chicken, and you want your 1.5 pounds of chicken breast cubed, thrown into into one of your gallon sized bags. And then we're going to add a bunch of things in with that bag, or into that bag, I should say. We are going to be putting 12 ounces of cubed fresh pineapple into that gallon size bag. I don't want to go too fast because I know you might be cutting things. Just kind of give me a
Yeah,
thumbs up when you're ready to move. If you're ready to move on, just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I think this one's got great flavor of pineapple, the peppers, and then having the red onions all mixed in with that chicken is just an awesome blend. And then with that honey teriyaki, yummy, yummy, yummy. So I know Tracy's got her hands full, but I can't wait to hear, Tracy, at the end how many chicken tenders you actually made. At the end, you can tell me. 35, 50. No, no. And really
can't
with this,
imagine what the grocery bill is for that many kids.
so I was gonna say too, you could always do chicken breast. You don't have to do the chicken tenders.
Yeah, no, I went to
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
I buy it in bulk at Sam's. I bought 2 7-pound packages of the chicken. 'Cause we don't do shrimp, so I was gonna sub chicken for
Yeah, for the rice bowl. Yeah.
that was, those 2 packs of chicken were enough. I probably have probably about 24 tenders, maybe.
okay.
Not too bad.
And those are good sized tenders too. They're not like the little rinky dinky ones. So yeah, that's awesome. Amazing.
I
But
think the
when you
bowl
have
will
that many
be,
people, when you're cooking for that many people, you almost have to meal prep. I mean, so that you have your meals ready to roll and you're not, oh, we don't know what to eat. Let's go out to eat, so.
Yeah, no, I can't afford that. That's too
And
expensive.
especially where you live, you're not, I mean, there's not a million restaurants right by you either. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right. So how we doing on the chopping with the cubing the pineapples? Good?
My pineapple's done. Denise, how are you
Okay.
coming on yours? I'm starting to work on my pepper now.
Okay. And you're gonna want two. So we'll just talk while you all chop. So we're cubing the pineapples. We're taking two peppers. They could be whatever color peppers you like to use. I prefer like the red, yellow, or orange. Green peppers to me just give me, I just don't like the flavor. So, but whatever your favorites are, grab two of those. You're gonna want to cut those up, cube them, and those are also going to be going into your bag. And then one small red onion, cubed as well. So once you have all those things chopped up and in your bag, just give me a thumbs up and we'll get moving with the last couple of things you need to add to that one. I feel like for this one, because there's a lot of little prep on your own, we should have some nice music playing in the background. I did a bread art class, and it was just a couple that wanted to come and make some bread art. And they were like, we love to cook to Italian cooking music. So we found that on Spotify. That's a whole channel. And that's what we
Oh
had
my
playing
God.
while they worked. Yeah, they're a cute young couple. They're engaged and
I
they
have,
just wanted a Friday night activity after I
oh,
did my
they're
open house.
new. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thought that was
Not an
cute.
older married couple.
No, new,
Do you think me, Bob, and
engaged.
do you think me and Bob don't listen to Italian music while we're cooking in the kitchen?
No,
I thought it was just
I
so
think you
cute.
two are throwing, I think Leanne and Bob are throwing knives at each other in the kitchen.
Aw.
Probably. Just cast iron
Like
skillets.
like you have a hat, like you have an apple on your head and you're seeing if you can knock it off or something.
Oh, I don't trust him that much. I love him, but I don't trust him that much. Ooh.
That would be kind of scary either way. No matter how much you trust somebody, that would still be scary.
Ooh.
Leanne
Yeah.
has a husband with a great sense of humor, but don't trust him with knives.
No.
Okay, good to know. In case we're ever in the same place, I'll keep this in mind. Lee, you're in Florida too, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you had said last time. So, how's weather down there right now?
What?
Yeah.
Ridiculously hot.
Is it hotter right now than it normally is for June?
I think
Or
Yes, I
so.
think it
It
is.
was
Yeah.
it was really hot today. We got an early rain, and oh my goodness, it got really hot after that.
And are
It did
you
not
doing
rain
where
over here.
Oh, it rained here for like 5 minutes, but made it really
it's
hot.
always like, yeah. Are you getting to that season now where it's like an everyday few minute rain and then that's it? Or is it still kind of not
Yeah.
there yet?
It's getting
No.
there.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think we've had it maybe once or twice a week right now, at least over at my house. I don't know about you, Jean,
Yeah.
but we get about once or twice a week. Usually
Yeah.
after I water my trees.
Always the way, always.
This
Yeah.
year it just feels like it's gone right to 900 degrees. Like it skipped May and June and went straight to 900 degrees.
I went to Inferno right away.
Yeah, pretty much.
God.
Does
All right,
Denise,
my peppers are done.
does Denise also live in Florida with you?
Yeah,
Jean
Denise
and
lives right
Elaine?
around the corner from me. Leanne
Oh yeah,
lives
you
a
said
little
that.
bit, she lives a few minutes away from me, but I see her on a regular basis. I'll see Leanne tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. But Denise lives right about less than a mile from me.
Awesome. That's very cool.
She loaned me rice today for this event.
Oh, well, that was very nice. Yeah, not everybody has jasmine rice handy all the time, so
Yeah.
yeah. So does anybody have a favorite meal or a meal pick that they're gonna go do first yet? Anybody thinking about which
I'm
one?
kind of liking the sheet pan. I love sheet pan meals,
Yeah, I do too. That's the one
but I
I'm
also love
planning.
coconut crusted chicken too. So
Yeah.
Honestly, they all look really good. Every single one of them look amazing.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Jean, you have to stop talking. You're driving my dog crazy.
hi Bogey. I dog sit for Denise, so her dog knows my
Oh,
voice
Here and
very
he's looking
well.
for you.
that is hilarious.
Now,
Poor Bogey.
which puppy dog is hers?
Bogey, the
Oh,
Labradoodle.
okay. Yes, I've met
Yeah,
Bogey.
yeah.
Oh,
He's
that's cute.
adorable.
Thank you.
Oh,
Everybody knows Bogey.
Well, I
He's got
have
a
a
fan club.
golden doodle.
I'm sorry.
I have a golden doodle.
That's what he is.
Okay.
Oh, I
I
always
thought you
call him
just said a
Labradoodle. He's a
labradoodle.
golden
I'm
doodle.
sorry.
No, he's a golden doodle too. Yeah.
I
No,
thought
they're
so,
great
but I
dogs.
thought you said labradoodle. I'm sorry. He
I
looks
did.
very similar to mine, but mine's a
Yeah.
girl.
Okay. How old?
She is just turned 2.
Oh God, you're still in the puppy stage.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you each only have one or do you have multiple dogs?
I have one. We had two
One.
before, but
Okay.
we lost one and just haven't replaced him. So we're sticking with one.
Yeah.
I have
I
2,
just-
but my other one's 16.
Wow.
I just take care of everybody else's dogs.
That's
There
right.
you
That's
go.
not true, Jean. You have 2 dogs.
They are. I raised purebred ceramic dogs.
There you go. You can't go wrong with them. They never have to go outside in the
No.
rainstorm. You don't have to wipe off their dirty
Nope.
paws when they come in from the
No.
rainstorm. There's no cleanup after them.
Nope.
We only
No
have a
vet
cat.
bill.
Yeah, we only have a cat now. We had three cats, and now we only have one. But I
Aw.
was saying to my husband today, I mean, they were older when they passed, so it's not,
It's so
the time
hard.
comes,
It's so hard.
it's so hard, yeah. But I was saying to my husband, I said, I think that Ella, or the only one that's left, she was the youngest, and I feel like she's actually gained, like she's gained extra years in her life because she now has all of the attention, and she like. We played with all of them before, but she was the one that was kind of a little more standoffish because she came into the house last. And now she plays with like they play kickball. Like he'll kick a ball to her and she'll bat it back to him. And she'll run around the house and like you would never know she's 12 years old. She seems younger now than she did a few years
Oh.
ago. So yeah. But we had a older one that was a little grumpy, and I think she just kind of always was like in control of everything. And I think Ella just kind of quietly waiting for her turn to be front and center. So I'm watching her right now. She's all curled up in our front bay window where the sun is right now, so she can get some extra sun. So
Aw.
yeah. So Denise and Jean, how are we doing on the chopping?
I'm good.
I am done.
Awesome. Okay. So our next step then for this bag, and we're putting all, like I said, this is all one bag. This is really nice, everything in there. For this part of it is you're going to do 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then we're going to do 2 tablespoons, or the full cap size, of your garlic. Now, I will say one thing. Again, all of these seasonings, they're not like buying them at like, I don't know, like the Dollar Tree or someplace like that. I don't know why I said that one, but I couldn't think of a store. But so everything has a really good pop of flavor. So if you are a family that's like, oh, we don't love a lot of like strong, like, oh, we don't love a lot of garlic, then you can always back off with a recipe. And the other thing, like Tracy mentioned earlier, they don't love shrimp, so they've just replaced their shrimp with chicken. And you can always do those kind of things. You don't have to stick with what the recipe is calling for. If you want a little more or a little less, that's fine. The only ones I would say be careful on, like if you're going to do more of something, the sauces are pretty much measured, like we're only doing 5 meals here, but I wouldn't go crazy on, I'm going to pour all this sauce in one and then not have enough for the next recipe. So, but yeah, so just keep that in mind. So you've added your olive oil, you've added your 2 tablespoons of garlic. And then what I like to do is I seal my bag, like what Jean's showing you. I leave some air in the bag, which I know I said air is the enemy, but at the very
Mhm.
beginning, I leave air in the bag, and then that way I can toss it all around, and it seems to let everything get coated better, with the seasoning and the oil and everything. Then I reopen my bag. I lay out my bag like all the ingredients kind of flat, because I'll be freezing them flat in the freezer. And then I try to get as much air out as possible and seal it. So, and then once you're finished with that, you'll set that one aside and you'll need a quart size freezer bag. And for this one, we'll be putting I'm sorry, a third of a cup of honey teriyaki sauce in your quart size bag. Now, if you have like little containers that you like to store your sauces in, I bought a few at TJ Maxx about 6 months ago, but they're just a smaller container. If you would prefer to store your things like your sauces in those containers, so that it's a little easier when you're using your spatula later to get the sauce out, you can always use those. I probably would still put them in a quart size bag, like put the container in a quart size bag when you seal it, just so that if for some reason the little plastic container would crack or something, it wouldn't be a problem. But just so you're aware of that. And then once you want to seal that up and put both of those bags in your other gallon size bag, and then we'll be finished with that meal. And moving on to teriyaki pork tacos. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready.
Thumbs up.
I see Denise's thumbs up. I see thumbs up. All righty.
But
Yep. All right. So we are going to be moving into that teriyaki pork tacos. And this one called for 3 pounds of pork shoulder roast, cut into 4 sections and placed in your gallon size freezer bag. And in that bag, what we're going to do is we are going to, if you want, you can always pull the pork shoulder out if you want to put it on like on a cutting mat. If you want to pull that out, and then we're going to be adding 2 tablespoons of the Fiesta Party seasoning to the pork. Now, I added on, like it didn't actually say massage it on there, but if you only just throw it in the bag, if you toss it, you should be good enough to get it coated pretty well. But for me, I really like when I'm doing the pork, I really like it to be like really covering it. So that's why I said you might want to pull out the pork pieces and then sprinkle the Fiesta Party seasoning on the 4 pieces that you have, kind of rub it in there. And then put that back in your quart size bag, or gallon size bag, and seal it, put it aside. Hopefully that makes sense. This one is a meal that goes together pretty quickly. So
yeah,
yeah, this is like a quick no, and too, it's nice because in the summer when your house is going to get hot for having the oven or the stove top on, well, mostly the oven, this is a nice one because it's going to go in your slow cooker. And this is just a little plug for our July meal prep class is going to be all slow cooker meals. It's not going to be exactly like this where it comes with a cookbook like this and everything. This is actually one that a fellow ambassador has put together for us and came up with the recipes. They're recipes that have been with Tastefully Simple for a while. And yeah, so Jane, do
Kelly,
you have
are
a
the
comment?
documents already available with the products and everything? Because I know we have the price, but I don't know what products are available. Because I have a couple of people who are interested, and I need to know what products and what exactly which recipes we're using.
I thought that on that sheet, because it's not going to look like the normal one that I create. I thought that on that sheet
Right,
on the
right.
top right corner, I thought I had the list of the ingredients or
Okay. Okay. I'll look
the Tastefully
again.
Simple products. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll double check that too and see. I thought I had put the products we needed up in the right corner.
Because I
Um,
know it had the
what the products
price.
are. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the dishes, the main dishes were listed on
Yeah.
the sheet, and I thought in the right
Yeah.
corner. Does it say it on the right corner?
I'm trying to get to that. I'm trying to get to my,
You know what? I can do that while you're prepping if you want, because I know I sent that. Let's see. Check. Yeah, so we're gonna need garlic, onion, pineapple chipotle grilling sauce, fiesta, and corn and black bean salsa.
oh, okay. All right.
And then we're making slow cooker tropical meatballs, slow cooked enchiladas, chicken breast and gravy, fiesta chicken salad wraps, and then shredded pork tacos, mango salsa. And so it kind of is, some of these are kind of similar, but they're made with different ingredients. And then the orange chicken. So,
Okay.
and then it's February, or not February, July 9th or July 13th is our
July
next
13th.
workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may have a bunch of people on that one.
Well, let's hope so. Let's all have bunches of people on. Invite friends. So, all right. So with this one, if you've already gotten the pork and your Fiesta Party seasoning in your gallon size bag, you've put that aside. In your quart size bag, you're going to be adding a 1/2 cup of the honey teriyaki sauce. And that's in a quart size bag. Or again, if you have a little container you want to put it in, that's fine too. You'll seal that up, that aside. Those 2 bags are going to go in your, if you do the double layering like I do, you're going to put that in an extra gallon size bag, which makes sense because it holds everything together. Seal it up, and then we just need one more gallon size bag. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to put our 12 tortillas in that bag and seal that. I would label, I wouldn't freeze these. I would just label the bag and say like, save for teriyaki pork tacos. And then on my gallon size bag that's going in the freezer, say, you know, tortillas are in pantry or something like that. So you remember you don't have to freeze the shells or the tortilla wraps. So um that's how I would do it. So, but it's up to you. If you want to freeze them, you can freeze them. So and then when you're ready, give me a thumbs up and we'll get on to the last meal of the evening. Gotcha. Thank you.
I'm ready.
So Jean, did you say which one you're gonna make first? You said put the
I
sheet pan is
think,
what you're liking?
oh, it's a toss up. It might be the shrimp bowls. I don't know. Might be the
Okay.
shrimp
All right.
bowls. I don't know. Toss up.
Yeah. Lee said she liked all of them look good, so
I
Yeah.
did. I think they all look really good.
yeah.
It's hard to pick, but I don't cook. My
Honey,
husband does the
Leanne's on
cooking.
here.
Like that.
Hi.
Leanne, Bill says hi.
Hi, Mr. Bill.
And Denise is on here too. He's sick.
No, I'm not sick.
Oh,
And you know how men are when they're sick.
well, I
So
hope you
it's
feel
8 o'clock.
better.
Kelly, hope you feel better.
At least you got sick now before you're going on your trip.
I know. Hopefully he gets
It'll be all
hopefully he doesn't
over
give it
with.
to me. He
Yeah,
doesn't
but
can't give it to me.
there's still enough time. I mean, like you got a
Yeah.
couple weeks, so you would be healthy by, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I generally am more resilient to things than he is, so
Yeah. Well, that's good.
yeah.
All right. Miss
right,
Denise,
now
are
it's
you
ready.
good to go or do we need a few more minutes? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready.
Denise is not letting us see into her kitchen.
Oh, I got a thumbs up though. All right. Okay,
Okay.
so we are going to move on into the last meal of the evening. This one, these are our tropical shrimp rice bowls. And again, like Tracy mentioned, if you don't love shrimp, and this is for any of our workshops, if there's a meat or some type of protein that you're not in love with, you simply can just swap it out with a protein that you enjoy more. If you know your family has like, if there's a steak menu and you're like, none of us like red meat, you just can replace it. So that's the beauty of these, which makes ours very different than some of those that are delivered to your door and meat is what it is.
Yeah.
You get what you get. This is why I really think these are a great option for people. So, all right.
Or
So
you
we
could do
want,
both.
you could, yeah, you could. They have just like if you think about like the fajitas, like when you go to a Mexican restaurant and they have like you can get steak, shrimp, and chicken on your fajita, like you could totally do both for sure. I like that idea.
Or
So
even
for
just an
this one,
extra meal.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, to give you a different flavor. Perfect. I love that idea, Lee. So if you are using shrimp, you put your pound and a half of raw shrimp, peeled and deveined, in a quart-sized freezer bag. Or if you're doing the chicken, I would make sure that's cubed chicken and throw that in your quart-sized bag. And then in that bag, we're going to be doing 1 tablespoon of Fiesta Party seasoning and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And then you want to seal that bag, toss it around to make sure everything gets coated really well, and put that aside once you let the air out of that bag. Tracy, that pineapple looks delish. I think I need some. I love fresh pineapple.
That's one of my favorite fruits too. It's not as ripe
Yeah.
as I like, but I didn't have much choice, 2 hours.
I was trying to make avocado. I was trying to make the giddy up guacamole for Friday, and I thought I was doing great at getting some. All of them were really firm, but I did where the test where you can flick the stem off, and if it's green in there, then it should be good to go. And oh, okay, well that's great, Denise. I'm glad you finished it, and the dog is going bonkers. So thanks, Denise, for
Oh,
being here,
bye.
and we hope to see you in a future workshop.
All right, thanks,
But yes,
Denise.
so I tried doing the avocados were hard as rocks, so I ended up not being able to make the giddy up guacamole for my get together. I was like, yeah, this is just not happening. So hopefully by today it'll be. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna go in there and mix and mash on it some more and see if it's better. But it's like this is terrible. So
Made it on vacation. It was good. It was the first time I had tried it, and we made the Santa Fe tacos. That was
did you?
we took that to Michigan with us too.
Those
That's
Santa Fe
awesome.
tacos are amazing. I
Yeah.
love those
Yes.
Santa Fe tacos.
Yeah. Good.
We did
That's
those in
good.
a freezer meal one time, right? That was a
Yes, we
freezer
did.
meal.
Yeah.
Those were fabulous.
That's awesome. So, all right. Well, hey, the next part of this recipe for the shrimp bowls is, and Jean, I know you kind of already have I think you already did the rice, or you already made your rice up, I think. But if you didn't have time to cook your rice yet, um, the goal was 1.5 cups of rice, and you cool it and then put it in your quart-sized bag if you already have it cooked. If you don't have it cooked, you could just do 1.5 cups of the rice uncooked, put it in your quart-sized freezer bag, and then seal it and put it aside. And then you're gonna grab another quart-sized bag. There are lots of quart-sized bags in this one. And for this one, we're going to be doing 1/2 cup of the pineapple chipotle grilling sauce. And again, you can either put it in a little container or you can just do it in your gallon or quart-sized bag. And then seal that, as much air out as possible, seal it and put that aside. And then we have one last bag we need.
Hold on. We're doing a quart-sized bag of how much of the
The pineapple,
half a cup of the
half a
pineapple
cup.
chipotle. Okay.
Yep, half a cup.
I'm losing all my measuring cups and my bottles and
We're all over the place.
I know. Denise said, "Are you coming over to my house to do it?" And I said, "Hell no! I'm going to make a big enough mess up my house. There's no way
Yeah.
I'm going over
You know,
somebody else's house to do it."
I used to do these in person, and then when COVID happened, the only way to be able to do these with people was to do them virtually. And then I kind of got thinking, people probably appreciate not having to lug all of their food to somebody else's house,
Truly, yeah, yeah,
especially, like I said, after we went through COVID, it was like people didn't really want to have their food open, containers of food around other people. So this is
yeah.
when this came to be, this is when I started like doing this. I was like, I think we're on to something, and you know, so it's been this way ever
Well,
since.
because you have to have so many extra supplies. Like I have enough,
Mhm.
measuring spoons and cups for myself, but do I have enough for 3 or 4 other people?
Right, right. Yeah, then you got to
You
remind
know,
people to make sure they bring it, or so
and make sure they take it home, and then everybody's washing dishes. Like I've got a crap load of
yeah,
dishes on the other side of the counter to go wash later, and
yeah,
like
yeah. But
anyway.
the good thing is all the meals are prepped,
Yeah.
which is a blessing. So
And I was able to open up my refrigerator and show some of my neighbors, like, look, this is how freezer meal is. I can pull out chicken and it's flavored, 6 different ways. Because I had ranch
yeah,
chicken in there, and I had rustic herb chicken, and I had citrus chicken, and I had this, that, and I had burgers in there. And I'm like, this is why you do freezer meals, because then
yeah,
you don't have to remember, oh, did I get such and such from the grocery store? Because it's already done, and you have
yeah,
everything is all ready, and just defrost and continue on with your day.
Or
yeah.
you call your
And
girlfriend and tell her to take it out of your freezer for you.
I have done that. Leanne has gone
Yeah.
over my house and taken stuff out of my freezer
oh,
for
that's very sweet. That is very nice.
me.
Um, so hey, in this last
Okay.
quart size bag, we're gonna write actually a message on it. Okay.
Oh,
And on your coconut milk, on your light coconut milk, this is going to be, so this one says we'll need jasmine rice. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 2 teaspoons. I know, such a little bit amount. If you have a snack size bag and prefer to use that, do that. We're gonna put 2 teaspoons of the garlic into the bag. On there, we're gonna write um like add to jasmine rice water and follow step 1. Okay, so I'll say that again. We're not going to open the can of coconut milk. We're just going to put a note on the coconut milk, like save for tropical rice shrimp rice bowls. But on this bag, write yourself a note, get the light coconut milk from pantry. So, this is the one that you're putting the garlic in. So write yourself a note, coconut milk in the pantry. Because we're not going to freeze the coconut milk. I guess you could, but we're just not going to. So, and then once you have that sealed, then put your coconut milk in the pantry, put all these bags in the gallon size bag, and our meal prep workshop is finished. So,
And then the tropical fruit, are we adding that later?
yes, we'll be
This one
adding
has
that in.
tropical fruit? Okay,
Yeah, this one has the tropical fruit, but we will add that when you're actually making the dish. So,
oh, okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
This one is going to be you're going to be using an avocado. You're going to be using tropical fruit like pineapple and papaya that's in like 100% juice, and you're going to drain that when you're
Yes,
using it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then some pico de gallo. So
I've got a quick question. Has anyone made this before?
I have
I
not.
haven't.
This is a new recipe to
Right.
our lineup.
I'm just wondering, I'm not for sure if I grabbed the right coconut milk. I think I grabbed regular coconut milk because it was in Spanish and I'm not really for sure what is.
Yeah, yeah.
I have extra coconut milk in my cabinet if you want to come check it tomorrow.
Okay, I might switch them out.
Yeah,
I don't,
that's fine.
I've never cooked with coconut milk.
I make my salad dressings with coconut milk all the time.
Yeah,
Okay, is it
yeah.
too sweet if I don't have it in light?
No,
Okay,
No, I think it
I
just
don't think.
lightens it up. I think it's
okay.
just
Yeah,
a lighter, um, like lower calorie, I think is
Okay,
like,
yeah. I think it's just lower calorie.
yeah, yeah.
okay.
That's a great question, Lee.
I'm sorry, I've
Yeah.
never used coconut. I mean, I drink coconut